Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user 12yoklepto. My 20 female sister, 12 female, stole my credit card and racked up $700 of charges. What the F? She has an issue of keeping up with the Joneses. Her friends have a lot of cool stuff, and she idolizes those beauty bloggers and YouTubers and wants the things they have. Now, my parents are extremely wealthy but strict. They would reward us with things when we did well in school. She pulled C's this year and asked for an iPhone and was obviously refused. Early this year, in September-October, I noticed a lot of my makeup and shoes were going missing. We have the same size feet and the makeup items were popular cult classics. I put up a camera when I went to work one evening and came back to check. Lo and behold, she was taking stuff from my drawers and sitting down at my vanity to use it. Whatever, she's 12, she wants to use makeup. I de-stashed some items I never used and gave her a fair amount. For her birthday, my other sister and I, my other sister does not live with us, chipped in for a Sephora gift card. We thought maybe then she'd stop taking my stuff. It did stop. It looks like nothing has gone missing, and I recorded for about a month and only saw her in my room when she went to fetch the dog, so nothing suspicious. However, lately she has been getting packages from Amazon. She's buying video games and she's using a Netflix account. She stated she's been winning all of these things, and despite questioning her, she refused to really admit where she got all of this stuff from, so I dropped it. Then, about 2 weeks ago, everything in our computer went missing. Looking into the system recovery files, it said that there was a system file reset, something along those lines, at 11:30 a.m. on a Thursday. Mom and I discovered that evening that the computer was wiped clean. I saw my sister on the computer when I left for work. We know she did something, but again, she refused to answer. Then today, I got my MasterCard bill. It was absurdly high. I paid $78 for a yoga pass and then $10 for something from eBay. At first, I thought my card info had been stolen, but the purchases all match up with stuff she has. Origin, Netflix, Amazon, one eBay purchase, all online purchases, $700 worth. I have no idea what the F to do. My parents are, again, super strict. Obviously, I have to tell them, but they are going to lose it on their end. But I'm beginning to think she has a serious effing problem. I have the money to pay down this card, but I don't want to. I want to recoup the losses, but how can I get a refund on something like Netflix? I can't. I've already called to cancel the card. I don't know what steps to take next. Well, OP, I think you're right. It is serious and it is a problem, and if you can't help your sister stop it, then you've got to. Now, the way I see it, you've got two choices. One is you take your credit card bill and you confront your sister. That no matter what she says or how she tries to deflect, you know the truth. You can match the purchases to the items that she has. So you tell her that she has to pay you back or that you will go to your parents. The other option is that you go and tell your parents what's going on and show them the evidence. Now you say they are very strict and they will flip out, but you haven't told us that they could be abusive, so the thing that they need to do is parent their daughter and teach her that stealing is wrong. Regardless of which option you take, something has to be done. You need to help your sister. And what do you guys think? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Gold T33F says, you need to tell your parents. If they lose it on her, it's because she needs to learn now that money doesn't grow on effing trees and that she essentially is an entitled thief. You're not going to get through to her. And Dopey responds, F, you're right. I don't want her to become one of those brats I suffered through in retail. They knew what happened with the first time, and my dad just babies her. They're old now, in their 60s, and just don't want to deal with it, so my other sister and I have become pseudo-parents, but I guess I finally need to let her be their problem. Okay, I understand wanting to protect your sister, but she's going to go to jail if you don't stop letting her be entitled. If you just cancel the card but don't say anything, what's next? Shoplifting? Serious things like theft shouldn't be kept from your parents, especially if you're not even going to try and stop her from doing it. You know what that teaches her? That it's totally fine for her to do it to you, and then who else? Her friends? Her parents? There's a reason people have consequences. It's important to have boundaries and rules. You seriously need to tell your parents and have her return basically everything and work to pay you back, like babysitting or doing chores. But the most important thing is that you stop letting her get away with crap just because your parents might yell at her. And OP responds, I explained a little above, but my parents are retirement age and essentially dropped parenting, except for school related stuff as we are an academic family, so I've basically been her parent for a while, but I have no concept on handling this. Foxy Cleopatra says, I would go hard ass F on her. Tell your parents they need to lose their crap, otherwise she won't get the message. Take everything back, the stuff she bought, the makeup you lent her before. She should be grounded forever. She has to get a part-time job. Any extras she wants, such as makeup, games, etc., she can pay for herself. She wants an iPhone? Tough crap. She can go babysitting or do newspaper round. Parental controls on all her crap. No gaming, no internet during the evenings. If she complains, so sad, too bad, she shouldn't be a thief. And OP responds, thanks, taking back the makeup is a good idea as it's something I have control over. She has a laptop and a friend has just offered to set it up so that she cannot access our Wi-Fi off the laptop, which would make it easier to enforce no internet. I changed the passwords to the family iPad and desktop so she can't access those either. Luckily, she goes back to school next week and my parents will be banning her from fun stuff anyway. Additional information from OP's comments. I'm shocked. I didn't realize she was capable of something like this, and she has money that she saved, so I have no idea what the motive for this was. I don't think she's a klepto, I just made my username in a fit of anger. I just see her obsession with wanting to look like those YouTube makeup girls, and I think it comes from there. Also, she is really entitled, so she felt entitled to my stuff, and even though I blew up at her, she just didn't care. Then, when I confronted her about her stealing, she just denied it. I even showed her the video and she kept lying and saying she didn't do it. About my parents, I guess it's hard to explain. If it helps, we are ethnic. They have a very strict mentality on money, school, and what you should do to earn things, as they came here poor ass crap and worked their way up to financial success. There's a lot of academic pressure and basically they aren't involved if it isn't about school. So when she started failing, they checked out. I know it sounds bad, but they basically wanted her to figure it out for herself and deal with it. So strict might not be the best word for it. It was strictness for me growing up, I basically never left the house, but for her it's just total uninvolvement, which is why I was so hesitant to actually tell them about this situation. I think it may be a good chance to educate her, since my other sister and I were born when my family was still struggling financially. We understand. But my sister was born after both my parents received quite big promotions and raises, and so she has no concept of struggle. I remember my dad selling his old clothes so that we could get school supplies, but she never had that experience, so she just has no clue. But this is a good time to talk to her about it. I also think she feels I get paid a lot, as I work in a hospital and make quite a bit for my age, so maybe she thought I wouldn't notice her stealing. Okay, well, the community agrees that OP has to do something about this. Now, OP has given us 3 updates, so let's move on to the first one. Hi everyone, thanks for your advice and help. I just want to add in some points that came up in the comments. I did get mad at her when she stole from me the last time. I thought that being proactive by helping her get what she wants in a proper way would help, but we did have a nasty fight about it. I didn't just shrug it off. I now realize I totally effed up. I do lock my door, but it's where the dog hangs out, and he needs to leave to pee sometimes, so I am hesitant. I did, however, decide to order a nanny cam for my bedroom. I am still considering the lock. So last night I came home from work and my parents had gone to bed, as well as my sister, so I decided to leave it until the morning. But I heard giggling coming from my sister's room, so I approached her and I decided to ask her about it before I talked to my parents. Well, she full on denied it. I had printed my credit card statement and I showed it to her and she just said it wasn't her and she didn't do it. I am the person with the mail key. We have a community mailbox, so I was taking in her Amazon packages. They were from the marketplace, and a few of them had the prices on them so they could go through customs, and those prices matched what was on my statement. My dad has a key too, so he probably took in ones I didn't see, which is why I didn't realize it was such a big problem. I also pointed out the Netflix charge. She said that she was using my other sister's Netflix. My other sister lives in an area about 2 hours behind our time, so I texted her right then and she said she doesn't even have Netflix anymore, as it interfered too much with her doctorate work. My younger sister lied and said she was still using it. I told her I am giving her one chance to admit it to me, otherwise I'll be talking to our parents and I will also be calling the cops. Still, she refused to admit it. I even started to doubt myself. Maybe she didn't actually do it. I was going over all the charges and realized she'd have to have an Amazon account. I was the one who set up her email address so many years ago. If she forgot her password, my email was the recovery. I reset her password through my email. Not only had she charged $700 in this last billing cycle, but yesterday she bought 2 more things off of Amazon. She also had an iTunes receipt and memberships to 2 other video games. I reset her Amazon password and I cancelled the orders she placed. I emailed the video game companies and Netflix and told them she was a minor and was not authorized to purchase the memberships. The video game people were awesome and they reversed the charges for me. I guess they deal with this a lot. Netflix hasn't responded yet. This morning I talked to my parents. They offered to pay for it for me and I told them that is not the point. I want her to learn what she did. They just dismissed it. So I told them if they don't do something, then I will not be doing their job for them anymore. I will disengage totally from my sister's life. I told them that by choosing to ignore this, my grad school applications are immediately moving out of our province. This did upset them because my older sister had gone the same route due to their crazy behavior, so they decided to talk to her. I don't know what they said as I had to go walk my dog, but looks like there have been 0 consequences because she looks fine and is still holed up in her room. My dad just transferred that amount to my bank account, so I'm assuming they just didn't give a crap. I haven't yet paid the card. It is due in a few days, so I have time. I talked to my boyfriend and he has some friends on the police force as well as some paramedic friends who know cops that do youth circuits, so he's going to try and contact one of them. My older sister actually has a planned visit for next Tuesday, so we are trying to coordinate the potential police visit with that. My older sister was shocked to hear what happened, and when I told her that I might do my master's out of province, she said she and her husband have room for me at their place. I could even bring my dog if I want to, so maybe that is something to consider. My sister is totally open to me moving there, and I actually wanted to do my BA with her. She was probably trying to extract me from this mess, so I will definitely look into applying in her area. Additional information from OP's comments. I don't want her to be like this. I think she can be better. I love her. My older sister and I are good people. We have a lot of cousins and a huge extended family who are all really awesome people too. I don't know why this is happening. I know I have no responsibility for her, I just want her to be a decent person, but I know I'm not her parent. Also, my boyfriend was able to reach a cop, and I don't want to formally press charges yet, but if she lies to the cop, then that's how it's going to go, I suppose. I just think, and maybe I am wrong, that she might talk to someone who is not us. She's obviously afraid of what we might say or do since she is lying about it. She's even a lot more open with my friends than she ever was with me. But I agree that my parents need to actually parent. Anyways, she just went to the neighbor's house, so I took back what she bought that I could see and the makeup I gave her and that she purchased with the gift card. Everything is currently in a large bin on the top shelf of my closet. Okay, well, OP's parents' reaction is absolutely ridiculous. They should parent. Anyway, let's move on with the second update. My boyfriend reached a cop he knows who actually referred him to another person. He will be coming over Tuesday afternoon after my sister and brother-in-law arrived. After the cop talks to my sister, my boyfriend is going to take her to the army offices, which are stationed near the police headquarters. She's going to get a tour of both. We decided to do that part second because she might be more cooperative after the cop shows up. My sister and I are going to talk to our parents about finding her a volunteer placement. My older sister suggested that she might need some perspective, aka not owning that game is not the end of the world, and some hard-hitting scenarios might be the best way to get that through. I called one of my cousins who my younger sister really admire, and she is going to come to talk to my younger sister too when the cops come. Intervention style, I suppose. The cop and I talked on the phone just a few minutes ago, and he said that this is not the first time he's done this. He has a lot of stuff he can say, so I trust he will do that on his own. He told me that he often refers these kids to a counselor, and that if my sister seems willing, he can refer us too. Everyone is being really helpful. I have decided not to press charges yet. A lot of you are coming down hard on my sister, and she deserves it. I might show her these threats. However, she is still my sister. She is 12. My older sister and I basically raised her. We do not want to turn her into someone with a criminal record, even though yes, she deserves it. Right now, we have a chance to rehabilitate her versus deciding she's not worth it and dumping her. If I leave and she has no chance in hell with my parents, I still will be partly responsible if she goes the wrong way and I didn't try anything. It might be our house, not just her. We have extremely effed up parents, as you guys have noticed. I cannot change their ways, but if I can get her out of here, I will do so. But I can only do that if she agrees to change things. If she doesn't, then the best idea is for me to leave, because I want to have a life too. Okay, that was more of a transition update than a proper update. Anyways, let's move on to the final update to see how this story concludes. Hi everyone, thanks for your patience and all the PMs asking if things are okay. I work evening and overnight shifts, so I was basically knocked out until now. Just to clarify a few more points. Technically, could be financially independent of my parents, as I've been working since I was 14 and never did anything crazy fun, so I have a lot of money saved. I also make about $30 an hour now. However, after everything I had to go through with my parents and my academics, I felt like I deserved to get my tuition out of them. I don't want the cops to talk to my parents because my dad is a conspiracy theorist. He once refused to buy milk for a whole year because he said farmers are drugging the milk they give to stores to actually weaken our bones and make us dependent on their calcium-fortified, more expensive milk. Yeah. Anyway, I ignored my sister and family for most of the weekend and just went to work and my boyfriends for the majority of the time. Yesterday, I got up around 8 to pick up my sister and brother-in-law. In the car, we discussed the situation. My brother-in-law is actually a neuropsychologist. He doesn't remember much from his child development, or so he says, but he offered up some points that are similar to what you guys said. The consensus seemed to be that we needed to leave our parents, but only if my little sister cooperated today. This was the major sticking point. My older sister said that when my little sister turns 14, we can work on applying for guardianship and moving her and myself to my older sister's province. Because of my parents' age and history of abuse, my sister thinks we might have a case. She has already consulted a lawyer. We had a pretty sad talk about how all my older sister wanted was to get both of us out of there. She would have done it a lot sooner if she had known the extent of the problems. I haven't really told her about my younger sister's attitude issues and my parents' detachment, because my older sister is working and going to grad school and I didn't want to burden her. She said the hardest thing she's ever done is leave me and my younger sister in this house. I told her that she was 21 when she left and we didn't expect her to save us. She also had not met brother-in-law yet and wasn't making much money, so it would have been way too hard for her. When we got to the house, my brother-in-law and sister briefly said hi to little sis and then went and played with my dog for a bit. My cousin called the home phone and we let my little sister pick up. She said she was gonna come over with her dog so we could have a play date. This worked well because it got my sister out of her room. My cousin lives about 15 minutes away, so she was there within half an hour. We put the dogs outside and watched them play until we heard the doorbell ring. I sent my little sister to open it. When she saw the cop, she started crying immediately. The policeman was super nice. He sat down with everyone in the room and he told her instantly that he wasn't there to get her in trouble, but he wanted to talk to her. He even had a poster board. He set it up and started talking about a few girls he had known who had gotten into this type of lifestyle. The stories were kind of sad, and a lot of them were similar to the ones you guys talked about in the comments. My cousin told my sister about how hard it was to watch me and my older sister growing up, but we did the best we could so we could make a life for her. She told my little sister that she isn't a bad person, even though she might feel this way because of how mad I was with her. But the lying has got to stop. Kids who lie grow up into adults who lie, and adults who lie don't get to live nice lives. I talked to her about how all those videos she watches and celebrities she worships, they work really hard for that stuff. Sure, they might get some of that stuff for free, but success has a price. I told her that she's only 12 and has so much time to be successful, but people who steal and lie don't get to go that way. I even pointed out that her favorite singer, Ariana Grande, has also apologized for some things she's done, and now everyone has forgotten and it's not as big of a deal. My older sister and brother-in-law made her a deal. They said that if she gets a 3.5 in her first year of high school, which should be easy as it's not an academic school, then she can come with me after I graduate from my BA and live back with them. My older sister even showed her printouts of the house they want to buy so that we can live there. They have 3 dogs and a lot more freedom than we do at this house. The cop explained that not everyone gets a chance to fix things. He pointed to his poster board, which in retrospect is pretty funny, and asked if she wanted to be like them. My little sister was still crying. She ended up coming over to me and hugging me and apologizing. She didn't make any excuses or say anything except that she was sorry for what she did and that was good enough for me. My cousin and the policeman left and he gave us the referral. However, my brother-in-law has a few colleagues who would do better in his opinion, and he's gonna talk to them instead. But at least we have options for someone she can talk to without feeling judged. Then I texted my boyfriend and told him to take her to the army headquarters this weekend as I didn't want her to get too overwhelmed today. Last night, we put together a plan before I went to work. She is going to walk and feed my dog every second day until it snows. This is how she will pay me back. She will also learn to do her own laundry, starting this weekend. We are going to get her a bus pass and I'm going to teach her how to get to her school on transit. I did this at her age and it's time she learned. She is going to start studying with me in the school year. I go to the library and she will come with me. The university shouldn't care as I see it all the time. If her grades are up for the first report card, I'll talk to my parents about getting her something nice. But any misbehavior, and this means anything, the deal is off. She will also hand over all her passwords and passcodes to me. I get to check her stuff whenever I want. If she improves, then over winter break, we are going to visit my sister where she lives and have a sister trip. My sister offered to pay for the tickets, but only if my little sister's attitude improves. My brother-in-law drew up the attitude improvements. No more lying, period. If she's upset, she has to talk to me first and foremost before lashing out. She does what she's told, no exceptions. She shows me all of her homework to be done at the beginning of the week and lets me check up on it. She starts journaling. I used to tell my sister things that way, and I even use that method to tell my boyfriend upsetting things. I went through her computer and found lots of story files, so I got her a little journal for $5 from Walmart. I think it'll help her sort out her feelings before she lies and cries and acts like a brat. Brother-in-law is calling his friends later today. Maybe this is all overly optimistic, but this is our chance. If it fails, it fails, but this is my baby sister. I can't just let her go. So thanks Reddit for all of your help and concern. If in 4 months it goes badly, I will let you know. If you don't hear from us, we are living it up with my sister's 3 dogs. And that is the last OP ever wrote on this account. So I guess it is a happy ending and the sister was able to improve her attitude and everybody's happy, I guess. In any case, OP, thank you for sharing. I think you did right by your sister. All the best, OP. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you. from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.